This vlog is all about our garden patio transformation that we designed and laid ourselves. We removed the old concrete slabs and replaced them with composite decking, so watch this to see each stage and the costs associated. So we've just got back from holiday, literally last night we went to bed about 9 p.m. We've woken up today at 7:30. You can hear my bag banging around. Sorry, let me try and stop that just while I record. Let's stop that. Okay, that's better. So we arrived last night. We have woken up, started sorting the house out. I've put a wash in, but realised we don't have any clothes conditioner, so I've had to, well, one, walk to Screwfix because we made an order maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and for a hose for the shower and a cistern button for the toilet, because we are moving away from like the silvery type of fittings for showers to chromy gold colours. So we're just gradually, as we have a little bit of money, I need to sort my hands, my arm's aching, changing everything over from the colours. So I've gone to collect those from Screwfix. I'm on my way to Waitrose now to go and get some washing conditioner, but also lots of other stuff like food for today and things like after sun, you know, like all of that good stuff. So yeah, and then also this morning Sam's been basically taking up the patio. I've recorded what it looked like before, so we'll be seeing what that looks like before and after, which I'm so excited. We've wanted to get the patio done for years, literally since we moved in, because it's horrible and uneven, and it's literally just concrete slabs. They're horrible and ugly. So he's taking them up this morning, and then he's going to be breaking down what used to be the base of a I have such bad baby brain, I'm not able to think and say words. What's it called? Conservatory. So he has to break that down, and we're all doing the patio ourselves because, one, we're trying to save as much money as possible on the patio. I think it would have probably cost us around 6 to 7 grand if we paid somebody to sort our patio out, but because we're doing it ourselves, we're paying maximum 4 grand. So we're essentially saving 2 grand on labour and anything else that they like to add on. So yeah, so we're doing it all ourselves. So it's really exciting. We're learning a lot. I've had to do all the orders. I also chose the composite decking. We've gone composite decking, which is more expensive than wood decking because obviously it lasts longer. It's recycled plastic. And then we just wanted it to be easier to look after as well. You know, like with wood, you have to treat it regularly and do lots of things and just look after it and stuff every year. I mean, you should do that with composite decking, but it's just not, as you're not under as much pressure to do that. So I'm off to Waitrose now to do our shop, and I've checked the order. So we had a homely order today. We had the skip delivered yesterday, which is all my job. So 2 things out of 4 have been sorted, which I'm very pleased about. I'm not getting anything wrong. I'd hate to get everything wrong or miss anything off our list and be stuck. But other than that, I'm just going to be cooking for all the guys that are helping our friends. I'm going to be helping sort it all out and sorting the house out and just doing like the unpacking and stuff from the holiday. So my job has been to chop this down. It used to be much higher and there were loads of rocks at the bottom. So I've been taking them up mainly manually, but I did have to use the pickaxe for one of them. And then this is the state of the situation right now, but it's a full-on workout.
height of brick. Is this okay, or does this need to come up? I'm going to dig these up and dig this up, but it's kind of the same height.
Same level as the drain cover.
Same level as the drain cover.
So we've got to paint over this because it's holding up the fence next door. So unfortunately I'm going to paint over it and hopefully build some sort of climber around it. It's horrible. You see my shadow. But so far, look how much we've done. It's a bloody mess everywhere. That was the Bros. We've now repotted it into there. That's what it looks like now. So we spent £2,640.60 on the decking materials. We also had to hire a skip, which cost us £180, including VAT. And then we also had a homely book, which was just some extra materials like sterling board, bits of wood for the battening, and a bag of cement to line cement pipe pump with. So that all came to £102. And I'm going to go through the concrete mix and cost later, but that is the main costs associated. We did actually go over our budget, which was £4,101, and I reckon we probably spent £4,400 in total. We also had friends who had loads of tools, pretty much every tool that we needed under the sun, which saved us loads of money hiring tools, which is really important to note. So we actually forgot the pump liner. So when the concrete people came, they were like, where's the pump liner? So that was a bit of an error on our side, but I don't think it's too detrimental. But basically, in terms of the concrete, this costs a lot less than if we were to do joists. So we basically booked All Mix Kent in advance. So it was a pre-mixed concrete C20 5 cubic meters with a 30 meter line for the line pump, and in total this cost us £840. But the pump was separate, and that cost us £280. So 840 plus 280, you do the maths because I'm rubbish at maths. Importance of a pump was really crucial, and if we didn't know about that, we wouldn't have booked it. But basically it just saved us a lot of time transporting the concrete, and rather than having to do it manually, the pump and the hose just basically pressed or pushed the concrete into the garden area that we needed. So whilst Sam and Pete basically raked the concrete flat, the concrete people helped spread the concrete, and then we had to wait about 24 to 48 hours for it to dry. So it's day 2 of the patio work. They've basically now levelled the ground, and they're putting up the batons on the sides to fill the ground with concrete. The reason we're doing this is because it is the most cost-effective, easiest way to get everything level, because of things to do with like the water line on the house and the fact that our doors aren't on the same level at the back, so we've got one higher than the other, so it's all a bit complicated. You can hear some sawing going on. I haven't been able to do much with helping today. I've just kind of been doing house stuff, feeding the boys, and I have yesterday managed to pick up a chest of drawers from a charity shop. I walked in and just was like, how much is this? Because I saw it outside and they wanted to get rid of it because it was so heavy they didn't want to carry it back in, so they just said we'll sell it to you for £5, which is amazing because I was going to spend £350 on a chest of drawers about 2 weeks ago. So I've been sanding that down today and just putting some oil on it and some sealant and just cleaning it up really. So the drawers are out at the moment. I'll show you. So they're the drawers. The actual chest of drawers is outside. I needed to kind of wash that down, sand it and redo it and stuff. So that's outside. When Sam's got some time, he's going to bring it in, and I think we're going to put it up in the lounge because it's really dainty, so it's quite nice and small, so it will fit in the lounge, and it'll be a really good just storage space for us to put things like wipes, nappies, baby toys, different things like that. So yeah, that is how today has been. We've been out in the sun. I am just doing some work on my phone right now, sitting in the garden waiting for them to finish up the last bit, and then we've got the concrete people coming tomorrow morning at 10:30 to basically fill the floor with concrete. So the decking was obviously the most expensive part of the job, although from a time perspective it was really easy to lay. I would say that I was really impressed in EnviroBuild. I tried loads of samples. I probably went to about 6 different companies, and EnviroBuild had the nicest decking colour that I wanted. And from that side of things and from booking, it was really straightforward. However, the only issues we incurred were all to do with delivery. Now, their whole delivery system is rubbish. Basically, they give you a 30-minute call, and somebody has to be there to take and transport the decking from the truck to the garden. We also had issues with marks on the decking upon delivery, because they obviously don't wrap the decking, it's all just open. So the black batons that we've used marked the decking, which was a shame. So they did actually just return those, refund them and let us keep the old ones. So we're going to be making planters out of the old decking. So we had to lay down these packers. They came in different heights, but for example, if you needed an 8mm, you'd have to stick some together, basically to ensure the ground was level, so that the joist could sit flat. This was a very time-consuming process. It was very fiddly, and the sealant that we used was very bad, because the packers would move occasionally, and they ended up reverting to using board to level it off. But basically, as this saved us a lot of money on materials, so although it was very time consuming, it did save us a big chunk of money. We had to gradually use a laser spirit level to check each height to make sure that it was the right height as well, so another element of time consuming tasks which added. But if you're doing it yourselves, it doesn't matter because you're saving loads of money. When it was time to lay the batons, we basically underestimated how many we needed. There was an issue with the maths. There's miscommunication between us and our friends, but it's okay. So Sam had to drive to Canterbury to pick up 12 more, which cost us about £180. Now for the easy part, putting down the decking. The edging for the decking didn't actually look very nice and sleek, so we've sent that back and looking for an alternative option.